Ladies and gentlemen, now let me see here. Gonna take a little minute for this to get, for the notifications to go out, but working from the office, did not have to do, just finished my first coaching call of the day. Did not have to do one back to back, so got us a little time here. So wanting to pop on 10:30 a.m. in California, 1:30 in New York, Miami, Atlanta, 12:30 in Texas. So see if this here thing can connect on his here Wi-Fi, and take a little bit for the notification to go out. But if you watching the replay, let me see here. I could switch this here over, connect my Wi-Fi. Y'all, it still ain't caught up on my end, so y'all forgive me. I'm a little delayed over here. Try to see if that connect. But wanting to pop on here, I shot a video early this morning. I had ate breakfast, but I did not eat. Hadn't ate lunch when I shot that video and fell asleep in the middle of talking because I woke up 5 o'clock this morning and went to bed late last night. I was up studying, went to bed late. Body still woke up 5 something and sent out the email to Tony Gasson's Academy because we got the 21-day boot camp, 21-day love transformation boot camp coming up, which is a video per day for 21 days, and then on that final 21st day we have a live Q&A. Now it is a premium class, so it's not in the all access membership, but you'll see that on Tony Gasson's Academy. It's not for everybody. It's really for the 3Bs singles, to where you got the brains, brand, body, because that also means you in a position to where you'll be able to afford the class as well. If you can't afford the class, then that just is a sign right there that we want to keep on working in that area. That's why I put it up there, because we have a lot of situations where people going into loving relationships and haven't gotten to the point to where they either got a job or they created them a little savings or a little room, and that immediately, those finances not being where you want them to be, it immediately causes problems in a relationship. Immediately. And so it's hard to get finances together in this economy, in this day and age. So it's nothing to be ashamed about when you robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's just, you got to just be intentional and just keep working, because we all go through that. We all robbing Peter to pay Paul, everybody. It's just how it is. Finances is gonna be tight. We're in that type of situation. But as I'm opening up my matchmaking with my clients, I've been noticing that, people, that's why a lady asked me about the prenup the other day, and I did a video on that. People really thinking about them finances and credit scores and things of that nature. And, we have the credit repair people and stuff in my audience and things of that nature, but I don't really promote it like that, just because it's hard to keep up with, and they get so bogged down in the system. Now they have AI that do credit repair and I went to check one out the other day, and the site didn't even work, and it was a 5-star 4.9 rating AI thing, and I was about to share it with some of my folks, and the site wasn't even working right. But wanting to pop on here because the video that I did, I was talking about, and I got a little bit of time on here, but I got a delivery coming, and so y'all forgive me. Okay, got a little bit of time on here, so if y'all got to come and go, then y'all taking, pop in and out, and you can watch the replay if your lunch break, if you're not on lunch break, or if it be over Woo, about to pull down. So what's gonna happen is most likely my Wi-Fi gonna get cut out here at some point because they love to act up here at the office. I'm in my wife's office, and so what, Skylar, I see, yeah, that Uncle Nearest, I'm learning a lot from that lawsuit right now. I'm learning a lot because it's like I want to start me a drink company, not alcohol, but so I'm learning a lot about that. Just as an entrepreneur, I'm like, wow, I'm about to write Farm Credit America. I'm about to write them and get me a loan for my little bit of land. See what y'all giving out 100 million? Hey, run a little something. Gonna figure out something. I will not default. But right now, we are under a, and I'm gonna just talk freely without worrying about, what YouTube got going on, because they will demonetize you. But we under a porn curse right now. And I saw, they say they got a tennis player. The lady is a tennis player, and she trying to get a spot in the U.S. Open, I believe. And I want to send my wife up there if I get the opportunity to. The lady got an OnlyFans, the tennis player. Not only do she got an OnlyFans, I don't know if her estrogen is out of whack or what, but she got an OnlyFans, which for those of y'all don't know, OnlyFans is a site where you can provide courses and content and all of that, and some people use it for adult content. And we got a lot of people, I was about to say these nasty men, but it's men and women that subscribe over there for the adult content, and they pay subscriptions. And here we got this aspiring pro tennis player who now she say she charged $1,000 deposit for a date, and she got an OnlyFans, and she say her OnlyFans is the easiest money she'd ever made. And now when you're a professional or trying to be a professional tennis player and you got an OnlyFans, we doing bad. And now every celebrity, a lot of celebrity women that have fell off are now doing OnlyFans as well. And I don't know what they over there doing. I have not visited the site, and I don't plan to visit it because I don't want it tracking me online and sending me advertisements. And I done had my son have Taden on my phone like he was on Sunday, and a OnlyFans advertisement pop up with a half-naked woman. So that's why I don't go to the site, because I am nosy and I want to go over there and see what they got going on and see what they charging, so I could come on here and talk about it. But I just don't recommend going on there because it ain't nothing but a filthy black hole. But that is what is plaguing us right now, to the point that you need to be doing fist bumps with men instead of shaking hands. But it's plaguing us, and that's what's plaguing our relationships. And so when your son get a phone, you want to have a talk with him about this. And you want to have a talk, and your daughter as well, because it's also little girls that are getting into this. And these conversations have been brought to me. So before you get your child a phone, or if your child have a phone, you need to talk to them about inappropriate content and in the language that y'all speak. I can't give you those words because everybody use different words or different language with their kids. So, but in your children's language, you got to let them know not to be watching anything appropriate. And you got to tell them very young while your voice still has influence. If you wait too long because it's an uncomfortable conversation, your voice won't have the influence that you want it to have, or the power that you want it to have. And I remember my son, when he got his phone, he went to school and talking with the boys, and my wife got his phone and she clicked on his Google, and it had the Google history. He didn't know that, and he had Googled boobs, and she was so upset, and she went like, "What is this? Why are you Googling boobs?" He was like, "Well, one of the boys in school was talking about it, and I didn't know what he was talking about, so I went to Google boobs." And me, I'm sitting over there, Lord, thank you. Because see, my mama raised me practically. Now, I don't take this literal, but the way how she was so hard on me about femininity, like anything she felt was feminine, she was on me. Boy, hey, boy, you better take that chopstick off. Boy, what you doing? Like, mama, I just cut my fingernail. Like, mama, like, my daddy had to get on and was like, girl, leave that boy alone. He do not like no boys. That boy, all them girlfriends that boy done had, that boy don't like no boy. So to the point to where she almost made me homophobic, because she was like, all the fine men is gay. Look at your cousin. Look at this person. Look at that person. I'm like, mama, that's not me. I like girls. And so when my son Googled boobs, he probably got a phone. He was about 8, 11, 10, something like that. My wife was mad. What are you doing? You not getting this phone again? I'm over there like, Lord, thank you, Lord. I'm like, thank you, Lord. I'm glad he Googled that instead of angling. I'm like, Lord, he could have been Googling angling. So men, we take it a little different, but I had the birds and the bees talk with my son at 9 years old. At 9 years old, I talked to him about it because I grew up in a different lifestyle. So it was different. And my son's not in that type of environment, not in that type of lifestyle. So it was a little different. But I had that conversation with him. And he was like, Dad, please, my stomach is hurting. And I was like, okay, all right, son. And y'all forgive me when my wife texted me. And so I was like, all right, son, you know, I chill. I chill. And oh, okay. And so I had that talk because, as y'all know, some of y'all, not everybody on here is going to know this. Not everybody on here is going to understand this, but y'all know, for those of us who was left alone sometimes, and you with kids and kids are playing, whether it's in school, whether it's whatever, you play house. And so that's why I had that birds and bees talk with my son, because at 9 years old, I was already playing house. You know, I had been playing house since 5 years old. Now, one of the things, to God be the glory, that I never got into was nasty magazines and nasty movies. And I remember being at my cousin's house, and his daddy had a cabinet up under the TV. And ironically, I don't think either one of my male cousins from that household is married today. And that could play a part in it, because they daddy had a cabinet up under the TV, and it had nasty movies in there, the VHS, back when it was VHS. And so for us, we were so young, we really wasn't there yet. So we just pull out the video cassette or whatever, the VHS, and look at the cover. And I think it was a lady. She had on like a black leather type cat suit and had a whip in her hand. And it was a white lady, but they was black. I think she was white. And so I was like, okay, man, what your daddy getting into, boy? I'm like, what your daddy watching? Your mom and daddy be watching it? He was like, yeah, he be watching this. I'm like, man, what y'all got going on over here, cuz? And so a lot of people get into that stuff at a young age. And what's been brought to my attention, I didn't know a lot of women was into this stuff. But that is what is plaguing society right now. A lot of men and women is into the nasty content. and it's affecting our marriage rate. It's affecting our connection rate. And just like I told y'all, oh, you know what? Let me let my wife know. I had called her, and I was about to call and get some therapy. And then she's in the grocery store getting dinner tonight, so she missed my call, so I'll let her know I'll call her back. I was about to call my wife and get some therapy a little bit earlier. And she just not realizing she missed my call. She was in the grocery store. And so right now we have, I would venture to say 70 to 90% of high school and college boys are addicted to porn, because it takes a strong relationship with God and great parenting for boys not to be addicted to porn. And I would say 70 to 90% of girls in high school to college do what the boy they're talking to want them to do. And so if the boy want to watch it, she gonna watch it. If the boy want to do what's being done on there, she's gonna do it. Most girls don't have a personal identity and self-confidence and do what they want to do. They do what they think is cool to the boy. They do what the boys think is cool and what the boys want to do. And that's because we fail to, we talk about birds and bees with little boys. We want the uncles and the dads to talk about birds and bees with the boys, but then we fail to talk about birds and bees, which I really don't know what the birds and bees be doing. I've never seen birds and bees do nothing. I don't know where that term come from, but I guess they be getting it on. And we don't talk about that with the girls. And so I've had a lot of situations where people come to me and they like, my daughter, my niece, my granddaughter is touching on herself or really into this, the nasty movies. And so that's affecting our relationships today. It's affecting our relationships. It's why so many men are single, because it's warping their mind. They watching. So the quiet is destroying our relationships out loud. And so the brain is being warped, and then there's never a satisfaction or a sense of completion or fulfillment from a relationship because of how the brain being warped. And those things right there. And so all of that curiosity killed the cat. That's what is happening. And now you got these sites, like somebody said the P-Hub is free. I can't confirm or deny that because I've never visited the site, because again, I don't want to be getting tracked by the advertisements, but they say it's free. I remember one time I had a coaching session with a porn star, and she told me her name, and when I Googled her name, her work name, they had her videos just right there at the top of Google, popped up and just was auto playing. And so I'm like, the web is something else. And then they say they got these things, they got this stuff free. And then I'm sure it's sites out there with subscriptions. And so you got to realize, like, how many people do you know that truly love God, that truly genuinely fear God? Like I just did a video earlier, I haven't released it, about B. Simone cursing. It was an older video. I didn't realize it till about at the end of the video. She did it from like July, I think it was July 31st, her episode promo, where she say the S word, I think twice, while she crying and talking about she called by God, and that wherever she goes, she gonna say Jesus Christ, but she was cursing. And I just was just blown away by that. And so, but my point was, before I got distracted by that, is it's so much going on right now in our society to where men and women is just being deceived. And so, just like this right here, you got the young lady who talking about she called by God, and she cursing like a sailor. And so that lets you know we really don't have a lot of real Christians. So if somebody is grown, let's say 18 or older, and they don't really have a true conviction for the Lord, they're going to watch porn. And I know y'all call it corn on here, but so they're gonna watch it. And I have talked to several Christians who watch it and be getting busy, battery be dead, be needing an Energizer bunny at the house, be going through so many batteries, and be right in church. And his men got callus on their hand, be down there handler all day. I remember talking to a young man in college, and he was like, yeah, man, my roommate be in the bathroom tearing that thing up with his hand 5-6 times a day. I say, really? He say, yeah, man, it is bad. Like, he's in there 5-6 times a day whacking that thing. I'm like, what the world? But that guy was, the other guy was come from a wealthy white family, white guy, come from a wealthy white family that had a phone, have privacy, have time, have a car, have a credit card or whatever. They got the money to go to Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, whatever, get them a gift card, get them one of them little visas, put them little money on there, sign up for the nasty site, have them a little subscription, and be right there going to town. And so a lot of times we looking and we thinking like, we looking and we like, oh, you know, the state of men is just so bad. You know, these men just, you know, they don't want love, they don't want that. And it really ain't even all the way that by itself. It's what they watching, what they getting into. And it's just changing their life. It's rewriting their brain. It's affecting their brain. It's affecting the way that you see a woman or a man. It affects the way you see a relationship. And it really just, it messes you up from the inside out. And what's shocking to me, and this what's sad, is that it's men and women. I was under the mindset that only men watch porn, and then to find out that women watch it, and that women watch it by themselves too, and be going to town. It just, I'm like, wow. Because, you know, I'm a man, so I can't speak for a woman. But there is like an innate desire. There's an innate desire in a man that's kind of like a thing that draws us to a woman. And when you have a release, that is shut off. It's like you cured for a little while. And so if a man is doing this every day, he's walking around on a full tank. Like, I mean, on an empty tank, but you know what I mean? It's kind of backwards. Like, he emptied out, but that's filling him up with his dopamine or whatever, his oxytocin, the bonding chemical, where he bonding to his handler. So he bonding to himself. So he walking around and he has no desire for a woman because his loins are empty. He done spilt this seed. I mean, just tens of thousands of kids in his toilet at the house. And I mean, the tadpoles and frogs down there getting pregnant in the sewage. They down there pregnant from this man. And it just, the man stuff down there just fighting all kind of tadpoles, fighting the frog eggs, just in the sewer. And so when he goes out into the public, women saying, Tony, men not approaching us no more. You know why? He's depleted. Men don't approach no more because he is depleted. See, when we biked up, when a man is biked up, we real fresh. And we just, so whenever you get around a man and he just real fresh and he just, ooh, you look good. My goodness, is everything okay? Are you used to looking that good? When he just fresh for no reason, that he might be practicing retention right then. And then now sometimes the opposite will happen. A man will be fresh because he has an addiction and he done it too much. But when a man is just kind of doing it in a way to where once a day he getting them old release, he feels satisfied, he feels full, he feels complete, he feels content. So it takes a lot. And I don't know if you're a man, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're a woman, you'll know what I'm talking about if you ever been around a man when that thing go to standing up. When he down there like the Army Hammer boss, if you notice, he changes. He get very forward. He get very assertive. He get very just aggressive. He get very direct when that thing get And so if you notice that, you'll know. And so what happens is when a man don't have that, when a man is taking and he watching corn and he depleting himself, your average everyday man is not going to have the confidence to approach a woman. A man have to be a bit biked up, a bit horny, a bit turned on to approach a woman. Like he got to be turned up to get the confidence to approach a woman. Some of y'all ladies can attest to a man approaching you and he's shaking, or he's sweating, or he's stuttering, because that's how intimidating it is for your average everyday man to approach a woman. But when a man has healthy blood flow and he's not doing that to himself all the time, he ain't using Angela all the time, he could just be walking and it'll react. He could be standing next to you or behind you, in front of you in the grocery line, and it'll react. And when it react, it's because it senses a woman, them pheromones or whatever it is, and so it'll react. And that right there, when it react, he get a courage that is not a common courage. He get a courage, and he able to. Excuse me, ma'am. I want to ask you if you single, and if so, would love to know your name. I mean, if you open to meeting new people, and he'll just be the calm and just the direct, and just you like, oh wow, it's interesting. That's cause that thing, done revved up. But if he is into that corn, then he gonna be so empty. He's so depleted. He just looking at you. You notice how, for the women who watch this, you notice how you go out and whatever you got on, a real outfit, sweats, hair up, hair down, whatever, makeup, no makeup, and there just be men that just staring at you. He ain't got that in him because he depleted. So he just staring at you because he ain't got that extra rev in him. But see, when he's not doing that, that's when he got the confidence. So this right here, what's the first step to starting a relationship? Like, it's something about it to where before a man has that release, he want it all. He want it all. Like, he will suck the nail polish off your toe when that thing is up and ready to go and it have not had the release. He want to do everything. As soon as that release happens, his body shut down, his mind shut down. He don't want to do nothing else. Like, what he was thinking of doing, what he would have did, he no longer wants to do, because it's done. The job is over. Like it's through. And that's how that works in a man's mind. And so this, what a lot of men don't realize, is what's killing. And it could work the same way for women. I'm not a woman though, so I can't speak for a woman. But that's what men don't realize. That's what's killing our relationships. That's what's killing our marriages and killing our ability to connect, because a man don't even have a desire or the confidence to approach a woman when he depleting himself and he's spilling his seed every day. And so he'll just let a woman go on about her business, and he doesn't need a woman because see, the mind don't know the difference. The mind doesn't know the difference between the hand and a woman. Like, although it feels different, the mind don't know the difference. The man know the difference, but the mind don't. The release feels the exact same. It's gonna feel the exact same. And so the mind, and all the mind knows is our body just had a release to bring a child into this world, to impregnate a woman. The mind don't know that it went into the toilet or into a rag or a napkin or whatever. The mind don't know. The mind says, mission complete, a woman is pregnant. You have had your children for today. You done had your children for today. Good job. And you done. And so that's right there what happens. And so when you go out as a woman and you see men looking at you but they not approaching you, because he done emptied the clip in the toilet stool. Handler done already got him right. He feeling good. He nostalgic, nirvana, what they call it, all that right there. Ecstasy, he feeling it all. Angela. And so he just let you go on about your business. And then he could get with you. And what some men do is they never pursue the relationship, because they'll go on a date with a woman and go to the bathroom and get them a release to calm their nerves, so that they don't be too giddy or too talky or too touchy. A man will go to a woman's house and go to her bathroom and have him a release, because it ain't gonna take them 15, 30 seconds. And then, so the woman's like, man, why he so nonchalant? Like, why he seem like he don't care? Why he seem like he not interested? He done spilt. He done already spilt. And so this is what's happening, and it's killing our relationships. And people don't study the brain, so they don't know what the corn is doing to their brain. They don't know what the constant self-pleasure is doing to the brain. That constant release. They don't understand what it's doing to the brain and how it's killing their chances of connecting with somebody genuinely and purely and fully. And they don't realize it. And so they deplete their opportunities and their chances to truly connect and build. And so that's what you got to realize and understand, that is on us today. And you got to be able to speak truth to power. You're not really going to be able to find out. You're not really going to be able to, talk to somebody sometimes and just get that information out of them. And so it's going to be hard to see, but you'll be able to tell a little bit of, like, just based on how nonchalant the person is, or how assertive and into you they are. And so you gotta be mindful and be prayerful about it, And for those of y'all raising kids, you got to have a talk with your kids about the stuff they're going to bump into online. And you got to help them understand the brain patterns and how it warps your brain, and it makes you an addict, and it makes you not respect and appreciate reality. It makes you not respect and appreciate your other half, the opposite gender. And you got to help them understand that, and just the science behind their mind being content and fulfilled and complete, because the mind is just trying to reproduce. It's just trying to get the body to reproduce. So when it gets that release, it thinks that, okay, reproduction is done. Like, we done. We could relax. We could chill out. Like, we don't have to mate. We don't have to get on the hunt because we already made it. And so now the mind, and so now you're not even going to be giving off the natural scent that you would normally give off, because you already had your release and you didn't shut your senses down. And so this what I got you to, what I want you to think about and realize and understand, and just know that this is happening more often than it should be. But you also got to understand this for when you go into a relationship and you like, what's going on? Like, why am I not getting the attention, the effort, the respect, the intentionality? And it's 9 times out of 10 because of that corn. And y'all, who don't know what I'm talking about, y'all do that. Y'all taught me that, switching the P for the C. And so, but you'll be shocked. It's, people on here that they just don't be seen it or heard of it. And so be mindful of that when you out here moving around, and just know that people are battling different things in the dark. And you can't always take it personal. Can't take it personal and feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, he or she don't want me. Oh, whatever. No, sometimes a person they have that addiction behind the scenes, and they taking care of that. And it's affecting their lives and ruining their life. And then you'll have some people who they might be in a whole relationship, and there's just no real intimacy or physical intimacy in their marriage because of what they doing on their little quickies on the side, or when they get their own time. Because sometimes people get to a place, and I've seen couples talk about this, to where they get to a place to where they know their body, and instead of teaching their spouse their body, they would just take care of their own body and just go without from their spouse. And the relationship starts to wither, it starts to break down, it starts to weaken. And that's because there's no communication about the body and what a person's needs are, and the person starts to meet their own needs. And then what some people do, and especially like a lot of men today, is because the mind don't know the difference. A man is able to, and it could be the same for a woman. Y'all remember I said that, but I'm not a woman, so I don't understand how a woman's mind works. But because the mind don't know the difference, a man could look at a woman picture or look at a video and do what he's doing, and the mind thinks that he was just with that lady that he's looking at. Mind don't know the difference, and he still gets that release. And then, but that woman that he did that with online through his phone screen or computer screen, he's comparing her to a woman without all of that makeup, or without all that body work or doctor or surgeon work. And he's comparing everyday women to this woman who he feels is perfect, that he sees online or on one of these sites. And then ironically, you used to think to where you would think, oh, a woman look a certain way. If she's unattractive, then she's going to be working in the strip club or working on OnlyFans or whatever. And that was kind of, reserved for women who was deemed unattractive. But now it's women who are deemed attractive or very attractive or gorgeous or whatever, working in that sex industry. And so now men are able to subscribe to women who look better than any woman he's ever seen in his city. And they're able to subscribe to that woman and touch themselves daily looking at this woman that they may never meet unless they're a multi-millionaire and they could DM the woman and meet her and pay her for her services in person, like the NBA player Zion Williamson, I think his name or whatever, from the New Orleans Pelicans did. And it came out he was with the porn stars, or I don't know, the porn stars or strippers or video vixens or something like that. And I think he was dealing with two of them at the same time. And that come from being a phenom, having a phone, having money. He's sitting in school at Duke University on that phone, looking at all this filthiness, and then falling in love with this filthiness, and end up reaching out to the women and start dating them. And one of the ladies, I think she got his name tattooed on her face, and one of them was trying to ruin his career. Could have been the same one trying to ruin his name, trying to get him kicked off the team when she found out he was dealing with another woman, and then he came out and showed that woman. And here's a man who could have had any woman in the world legitimately and straight up, and a multi-millionaire, and he takes multi-millions and he risks it and squanders it on porn stars, video vixens, OnlyFans, whoever. Just like Shannon Sharp, you have this lady who is on OnlyFans. She looked like she fell off a snowmobile, and now she up tens of millions because Shannon Sharp want to go, instead of getting one of these amazing black queens and taking and marrying a black queen, he takes and go get a little white girl in her early 20s, nothing against interracial, but he go and pluck her off a pole, go and pluck her off of OnlyFans, and now a black woman could have her whole family, his whole family. They be doing trips around the world off the 10, 20, or 30 million that Shannon Sharp had to get his lady. And it's like that could have created generational wealth, even if not with a wife, for his own daughters, who he say he gonna do $30,000 for. So he was gonna get them $30,000 for their marriage, for their wedding, where they starting a family. And then now he didn't end up having to give 1,000 times that to a scallywag. And this lady he single-handedly retired her from OnlyFans. She off of OnlyFans. And she gonna go broke in 5-10 years and be back on OnlyFans. But it's like the man done retired the woman. And this is the state of men today and what we going through. So the thing about it is for the men who trying to do the right thing, you got to keep doing the right thing. You got to understand that you're going to have a lot more opportunity to get the woman that you feel is for you and that's a fit, because there's so many other guys that's canceling themselves out because all they want is a porn star. They don't want a real woman. So you got the opportunity to go and get a woman that otherwise you might have would have been out your league. Now you able to go get a woman of your dreams, because the men that's on her looks level or income level or whatever, they with OnlyFans. They in lawsuits with OnlyFans models. And so that's the sadness of our world. And this a 60-year-old black man. So imagine how much worse a 20-year-old, 30-year-old got it when it comes to they watching this stuff and then they try to go connect with these women. And so you got to understand that when you out here moving around, men and women, because it's getting bad and it's disgusting and it look bad and it's just terrible. It's just terrible how we moving. And the thing about it is I grew up around addiction, so that's why I don't watch nasty movies. I don't watch nasty movies because I know that it's forbidden, and I know that it's barbaric, and I know that barbaric activity could be addicting. It's the same way it's like it could be addicting, because when you're doing something you're not supposed to do, it give more of a rush. When you watching something you ain't supposed to watch, listening to something you ain't supposed to listen to, you get more of a rush because you know what you're doing is forbidden. It's forbidden fruit. Y'all forgive my son texting me. And so it's one of those things. And that's why I don't watch it, because I know that if I was to watch that, it would be so addicting and so interesting, because now the brain not knowing the difference, it's like a man can sleep with a white woman today for breakfast, Asian woman for lunch, black woman for dinner, biracial for midnight snack, and then switch the rotation up and do that the next day. And that is why we having passport bros, because you're not going out of the country to meet a woman out of the country unless you are a porn addict. Because to a brain that doesn't watch porn, it makes no sense to leave a whole country to go to another country to meet a woman that you don't know, you can't understand what she's saying, you don't understand her culture, you don't know how she feel about you as an American, you don't know her history, you don't know her biography. She could be the most slaughterhouse woman in that city, and you don't know. Because for her to even see you, recognize you, and want to talk to you as a foreigner in her city, that's a red flag in itself, because you could be a serial killer and she don't know. And we have literal grown men online bragging about going to another country to meet a woman. And it's just sad. It's sad to see how, and that's how we know for a fact that corn is warping the brain. Because for a man to think that it's rational and normal to go to another country to meet a wife, talking about American women are this and that, so he going over here to get one of these slave women, one of these women that's going to, I guess, do whatever he want to do and submit or whatever, because she want a visa or something, or he want to live over there. It lets you know that his brain is ate out. His brain is like just the inside out. It just eating itself from the chemical imbalance and from the constant warping and release from that pornography, to where he now not even thinking straight. So he going to another country to either sleep with a woman, and I've had guys talk to me about that and say that they have friends who goes to another country, and for for a couple $100, they get took to a certain place, they able to go to a certain house or whatever, and get to pick from 10 to 20 or 30 women. They get to pick from these women, and they could spend a whole night with these women doing anything under the sun for a couple $100. And the reason why that's being done is because the brain cannot just settle for virtuality. The brain has to make virtual reality reality. The brain got to take what it's watching and being fed and find a way to make it come to pass. And so that is why you ever see a man and he's with a woman that looks like she's not real, like her butt is so big, it's full to the brim of whatever silicone or body fat from other parts of her body. Her breast is so big, her stomach is so flat, her belly button is an inch or two higher than what it's supposed to be because of the surgery that she did, the reconstruction. and her face is unrealistic, like cheekbones full, chin chiseled, and the woman just don't look real because she done went through that much work. And you see the man with this woman, and you like, okay, you tall, you rich, you muscular. Why do you have a woman who look like the human version of the Saw mask? And the man cannot see that the woman looked like the mask from Saw. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Saw, you got to Google Saw the movie, and you're going to see the big clown face. And these women be looking like the human version of the Saw mask with a big fake booty, big fake breasts, everything. I mean, be looking terrible on a stick. And you'll see this tall, quote unquote, handsome or attractive to women man, muscles, money, and he got this woman look like a blow-up doll. And it's because he watched porn. It's because he is a porn baby. That's what I call them, porn babies. So he's so desensitized, he can't tell reality from fiction. Like a natural looking woman is like bland and boring to him. Like she looked like a popsicle stick. And then this woman with all of this fake everything, she more so looked like his fantasy, his dream. And that is why, so when you look at these relationships of like, you know, ironically, my wife and I was on vacation with them. We wasn't with them, but we was at the same resort. Drea Michelle, who is the elderly woman, and she has a boyfriend who's in the NBA who is her son's age. They was at the same resort with me and my wife in Turks and Caicos. And the reason why that relationship works is because he's a porn baby. Like to a natural 22, 23-year-old man, a woman in her 40s is elderly. Like he has no desire for her. But it has been said that Drea Michelle has been with countless athletes. And so a porn baby will want a woman who is very, very experienced in the bedroom so that she could do all of the tricks of the trade. And he doesn't want a regular woman because the more and more these guys watch that nastiness, the more homosexual they become. So they become really like bisexual. Like I think it says Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator, and Lil Nas X. They become like that. Like I think it's Tyler the Creator, Frank Ocean, Lil Nas X. That's the result of being a porn baby, of getting into this corn when you 11 years old and watching it every day, and then getting to a point where you got the time and space and freedom to where you can watch it 2-3 hours if you want to. And then you have to think about this. It's almost like it's like a human zoo. It's like a human zoo. So you got to think about this to where when you go to the zoo, you want to see the tigers, you want to see the lions, you want to see the chimpanzees, you want to see the koala bears, you want to see the penguins, you want to see the gators, you want to see the flamingos, you want to see the other kind of monkeys. You want to see the liger, the llama, the giraffe, the elephant. That's what porn is. They want to see the 3'11" woman, the 4'11" woman, the 5'11" woman, the 6'11" woman. They want to see white, black, biracial, Asian, vitiligo, vertigo, one leg, one arm, and they go down a rabbit hole. And then that's why these men are painting their nails. They painting their nails because they desensitize. Because the more and more porn that they watch, the more feminine they start to feel. And they watching it because they feel inadequate and they feel insecure. So they trying to learn games. They trying to learn, they're trying to learn strokes. They trying to learn moves. They trying to learn stuff to do because they put so much pressure on themselves to please a woman, and they go online and the algorithm shows them all of the women where the women talking about, oh, if a guy got a little thing, I'm ill. If a guy ain't got no stroke game, if a guy only lasts a minute, they algorithm is serving up all of these very loose, promiscuous women who are like shaming men for normal things. Like I did a video, I can't remember what the video was about, but it was women in the comments saying that they absolutely need a man with 10 to 13 inches. And it was like, I was like, for that to be a requirement, like, for one, I was like, do they, I'm like, do they think centimeters is inches? Like, do they know what an inch is? Because an inch is like that big. So then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's like, that's from shoulder to shoulder, ma'am. Like, where's that going in your body? So I realized, I said, well, these sisters probably don't know what an inch is for that to be a requirement. Now, yes, that exists in the male anatomy. And so, yeah, if it happens, it happens. A woman body can adapt. But for that to be a requirement, I'm like, these women have to be had to go through a lot in their life. Because for men who have been out there, we know what's realistic and what's not, because we've seen several different types of women. And so we know what's realistic and what's not. And so this is the perversion that these men hear about, and that's what makes them go to strippers and go to porn stars, because they not rooted in reality, because they listening to men who not rooted in reality. To women who not rooted in reality. And so they don't understand that some of these women were, like, violated at the age of, 6, 7, 8, before their body knew a difference, and then their body adapted, and then they adapted, and they started to crave it and to desire and to need it. But that's not just a natural, normal thing for every woman. So they will hear certain women state their needs, and then that makes these men insecure and feel inadequate. And so that is why they go to watching that porn, and that's why they go to the strip club, and that's why they pay the strippers. So if you remember, Drake used to date strippers, and he rapped about Malaya on Fire, who was one of my clients. For some reason, she hired me for coaching, and I could say that publicly because it's client confidentiality, because she tweeted it publicly. Somebody wrote her about being a coach or a mentor to her, and she responded to them, no thank you, I got at Tony Gaskins for that. So I coached her for a few sessions, and and the world knew it. She publicized it. But her and Drake used to date. Now, a normal, rational man with a normal brain that functions normally will never date a stripper. A man will sleep with a stripper, but would never promote a stripper, say a stripper name in a song, or date a stripper publicly. A lot of men will sleep with a stripper. I've never even having been a womanizer, I've never even slept with a stripper, because you just assume if a woman is willing to go to that level with her body, you just assume Now it's not always the case. They're not always promiscuous. Some of them just, it's the easiest way to make money. They just using what God gave them, but they actually don't sleep around. But you would assume that. But me personally, I just don't want to deal with a woman who would use her body in that way. Because I just feel like if your mind will allow you to get over all of the hurdles it takes to get over to show your naked body to strangers, for a few ones to be thrown at you so you could pay rent and get a Range Rover or whatever, it also made me think that you could be crazy enough to slit my throat, that you could be like a Jezebel and kill me. So I never have been in private with a stripper. And so that lets me know when a man is comfortable dating and being with a stripper or a porn star, he is a porn baby. And his brain has been warped by watching nasty movies. And so that's why Drake would date strippers, because it gives them the privacy to get comfortable with their sexuality and with sex. It gives them that. And the other thing is, when you see like right now, you have Klay Thompson with Meg Thee Stallion. So Meg Thee Stallion, because of how she twerks, is a fantasy to men who are porn babies. Now, Klay is biracial. So Meg Thee Stallion will get a little more credit for her looks from him than she will from a full black man. Because 100% black man has a lot of comparisons of 100% black women. And black women come in so many different looks that a man will, look at a woman and her beauty in different ways based on what he grew up around, what he's accustomed to. So Meg Thee Stallion will be pretty to some men and she will be not pretty to other men. But on average, it's really nobody beating down her door. She's not an unattractive lady, but it's not something to where you finna call home the mama by, or trip over your feet. But if you're a porn baby, you want to see that booty with nothing on, doing what she do in them videos and stuff like that. You want to see that bare if you're a porn baby. Now, to a normal brain, any twerking video have a stench on it. To a normal male brain, you could smell doo-doo on them videos. Y'all give me 1 second. Hey, how are you? Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. All righty. Hey, you too. Thank you. All right. Now y'all look at this here now. At the bike hut. Ordered my wife some flowers because she looked a little solemn today. I don't know if she slept too good, but she was real quiet this morning. Like she was tired or something, or she was just focused or rushing. So whatever it was, I ordered her some flowers, and this is a florist choice, I think they call it. It cost me $140 for that right there. But so I'm gonna take that home to her today. So you could smell the video when they be twerking, because for one, when you use the bathroom, you got to go get in the shower. If you got to get up and go right on to the photo shoot, go right on to whatever, and you just got out that bathroom, you're going to have your little hen on you. And when you go to twerking, that's cardio. So a little bit of sweat beads going to start to come anywhere that hair grows. Anywhere you got a hair follicle, you're going to have a little sweat bead. So now a little bit of that sweat coming out, and it's hitting a couple of feces. And now with it right there, it's a little stench in the air. It's going to be a little stench in the air. So to a normal man brain, we process that. And twerking looks stank. That's why we say that's why the term is you look stank. Ugh, why you got that stank outfit on? Ugh, why that outfit looks stank? That's why that term come from there. Like, you cutting up into stuff and you activating juices. And it's just an assumption. So now if you are a porn baby like Klay Thompson, you want to see that in person. You want to see that in person. You want that natural aroma to hit you. You want like how he was eating that catfish and catfish and spaghetti she made him, and he's sitting on there lying about how it tastes. He ain't want that, and so y'all forgive me. Boys program. I got a trip with the boys program. Shout out to Madonna's Tony Gas Family Foundation. Got a trip with one of the families this Wednesday. And so he wanted to get that whiff. So they probably won't last long enough until he done had her flipped and tossed in every way possible. Once he done fulfill all his fantasies, then he probably will go to the next fantasy. And that's why he's there. Because, and this is what I try to tell people, and this is what I try to help men understand, is the nastier the man, the nastier the woman. So I remember when Basketball Wives came on, and I remember tweeting, there is nothing wifely about Evelyn Lozada. And I tweeted that. Now I stand on business now. She later became one of my clients. But guess who she ended up with? Chad Ochocinco. He is not known for his pickability with women. He known for his nastiness. He known for being a gigolo. So guess what he do? He picked the feistiest, loudest, rambunctious, most combative woman off the show. To the point that he basically picked this poison. Because if you see a woman that's combative, why would you pick that woman? So they got into it. He headbutt her, split her down the forehead. It's like, why would you do that? Why would, if you know you not all the way there, why would you get a woman that you know y'all gonna be back and forth? Ruin his life, ruin his career for a long time off of that headbutt. But again, it's sexual immorality that's drawing these men to these women, because they looking at it like, oh, you out here real loud. You out here real this and that. You out here real this. Let me show you something. Let me put this here on you. Shut you up. And so they go out there for the challenge. And it comes from sexual immorality. It comes from being porn babies. And so that's why we have to be in our son's face. If your son or your daughter get into it, that's on them. But just know, make sure that they are warned. Make sure they understand how the brain work. Make sure they understand addiction. Take them around, you know, your family member who's addicted to crack cocaine or alcohol, and let them see addiction. Or show them a video on YouTube of someone who is addicted. Let them hear a testimony or, you know, somebody's story about being addicted to porn or addicted to sex, whatever it may be, and let them hear about that as soon as they of age, so that it'll send them a message and they know to stay away from it. And so y'all forgive me, family in the family chat. So this is what this is coming from. And this is why this is happening in our society, where you see these odd couples. It's just for sex. It's not for love. It's to fulfill their fantasies from watching the nasty movies. And so here's the thing, what you got to realize is, if we can't get people to be faithful to God without being grilled and watched every step of the way, what make us think that men and women are going to choose to do the right thing as adults in the dark? Like, every man that's not a devout man of God is going to watch porn. And that's what's destroying relationships and marriages. And then now a lot of women are getting into it as well. And I'm sure it's having an effect that I don't know yet, because I'm not a woman. But it's just not a good thing. God bless you. Somebody send me a cash out. Y'all forgive me. My son texting. And so you gotta realize that, and understand that you can't blame yourself when relationships ain't working for you. If you doing everything you're supposed to do. Now, you can blame yourself if you ain't doing everything you're supposed to do, but you got to realize you also today, you up against a lot of spiritual warfare, a lot of sexual immorality, a lot of this here corn going on. And that's why you will see, even in your city, you will notice a lot of the single men going after the blow-up dolls, going after the women who look like a blow-up doll, who look like she is from a porn or from a OnlyFans, and it's to fulfill that fantasy. Your average everyday woman who looks like the girl next door is having a much harder time. The woman who's not willing to go get a BBL is having a much harder time, because a lot of men are choosing what they see on these videos that they watching, and they not going, God bless you, somebody sent me a cash out, and they not going for your normal woman. It's not what they want. And so I want you to realize that, and understand that that's what's going on out here. You got to be diligent. Oh, got a free ebook on Tony Gass's Academy. Free ebook, 10 Steps to Self-Love. It's just one page per rule. 10 rules. Somebody sent me $10 on Cash Out for it. God bless you. Free ebook on Tony Gass's Academy. Make sure you get on over there and get it. And so, if you're under the sound of my voice, over there at Tony Gass's Academy, you'll see the free ebooks to download. Share it with your friends and family, or send them to the site. Sign up and get it. And so that's what you got to realize, and that's what we under. Y'all forgive me. I'm in here double swallowing, about to choke. And it might be smelling these flour too strong. And so we coming to that place. Are these cherries on here? What they got going on? A cherry? Yeah, so I can't wait to get Eve Flour home and get me some good old credit today. Yeah, baby. Old flour. And then I'm buying flowers in the recession too. That's gonna get me old double dinner. Yes, sir. The way the recession is recessed, listen, these flowers too expensive. Wow, the school in a lightning hole and will not be able to dismiss students until it's after it's lifted. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, you got to think about this thing and realize how real this thing is out here. It's getting nastier and nastier. And so when you see these men, especially our leaders, when you see these leaders, whether it's a pastor, a podcaster, a television host, an actor, and you see these men who are over the age of 35, 40, 45, and they in the public eye, and they not married, it's because of porn. It's because of porn and OnlyFans, which is porn, and all of that. Because it creates a insatiable lust. And they cannot settle for one woman. So these different men that you see out here, that's what it is. They have an addiction in the dark. And they can't beat it. They can't get over it, and that's why. Because you look at these men and you like, listen, you got money, you got fame, you got, women who think you look good, they think you whatever, tall, handsome, muscular, this or that. Why are you single? Why are you single? And it's because of their addiction in the dark. Unless you meet an Apostle Paul, which we do not have today, we don't have nobody in our world today on a large public scale. He might be out there somewhere on a small scale, but we don't have an Apostle Paul with notoriety that is living like Apostle Paul all the way through and through. We have a lot of clout chasers. We have single pastors, but they out here making love to the women mind. And some of them making love to the women body, but they know how to pick a trauma-ridden woman. Because there are women who will take their business to the grave. Not every woman is going to go to the gossip page and tell that she slept with such and such. It's a lot of women that been through so much pain and abandonment and trauma that she already have a million secrets that she taken to the grave. So for her to sleep with pastor, it's nothing more traumatizing. She might even condition that in her mind to be healing. And there's certain pastors that will make a woman feel like sleeping with them is giving her favor of God and anointing, because she taking care of the man of God. That's how the prophet Brian Carn is out here doing and have been doing for 20 years. He is underdeveloped and he do not age, because he was speaking in churches when I was probably 10 years old, it felt like. And he's still out here speaking in churches and still sleeping around. And I remember a lady wrote me a letter on him and had a lot of stuff in there. About that, had a lot of stuff in there. I ain't gonna say everything that was in there, because I don't want to have to, hurt nobody. They get my name in their mouth the wrong way. And so, but it just go to show. And that's what we don't have, an Apostle Paul today. And so that right there is what's going on. And so you got to realize that. You got to realize that, and you can't take everything personal. You can't be, sometimes it's spiritual warfare. God has you in protective custody as a man or a woman, whichever one, because we have abstinent men out here. We got abstinent women out here, and they're waiting on somebody from God. But it's so many people that are caught up in sexual immorality that it's making it hard for the people who are sexually moral to meet somebody. And so you got to be patient. You got to be understanding that. You got to join different interest groups, different life groups at church. You may have to get on meetup.com and create the group. And you be the founder and the creator of the group on meetup.com. You might have to get on eventbrite.com and create the event, the free event in your city, and invite all your friends and family. Tell them to invite everybody, and you bring together and start doing like-minded events, power networking events, and create the space and environment that you want to have to meet like-minded people. And that's what we're going to be doing here with the all access membership. You'll see on TonyGaston'sAcademy.com. I'll put that in the chat. You'll see the all access membership. What we're going to do once we cross 1,000 members, that means we'll have enough people around the country. We'll break up into state chapters, and then I'll have a chapter president. So it'll be similar to how they be doing the Greek life, except for we ain't doing oaths. We not doing oaths and omens and all of that sacrilegiousness. Y'all, God bless you. For those of y'all in the Greek life, God bless you. Keep your head up. We'll hopefully the Lord know your heart, like you say, and you hopefully you get on in the gates. God bless you, because you're gonna be in a ski wee right now. The Lord say, you made an oath to a demonic force. You at that ski wee. It'll be good. Hey, I'll be at the what the Lord said, he felt otherwise. But so yeah, we not the Greek life now, but we're gonna have a chapter. And so in the chapters, y'all will meet on Zoom, and then Lord willing, we'll do quarterly retreats for whoever could come from around the country, so you could meet like-minded people. And don't get so caught up. When we do this, everybody be so caught up in meeting somebody of the opposite sex. You got to remember, you could meet somebody of the same sex that become a best friend, and they connect you with they sibling, and now you dating they sibling or they cousin or whatever. Like, it don't have to always be you meeting somebody of the opposite sex. Somebody of your same sex could introduce you to your spouse that they just know. They grew up with the person. They know the person. They not a fit for them, or it's their relative. And so that happen every day. And so we'll do some quarterly retreats. You got to be in the all access membership though, because it'll be announced to the group first before it's announced to the public for the retreats. And I don't think it'll get out of the group, because you only need 8 or 10 people for the retreats to make it confirm with the companies. And so we won't be even out of there. And then so you'll see it on there, say all access membership on TonyGaston'sAcademy.com. And then we want to do an annual live event, so everybody could come together and meet in person. And then the courses will be taught live with Q&A. And so we'll have to get to that place too. But once we cross 1,000 members, we'll be able to activate some of that stuff. And then the monthly calls will just be with the chapters, just connecting, talking, touching on different topics, learning, growing. And then I'll do some Q&As. So y'all get on over there. You'll see it right now. It's at 85% off, because it's eventually going to be $97 a month for the all access membership, because you're going to have nearly 100 courses in there that you have access to on Tony Gaston's Academy. But right now it's $15, and I'm doing it for my founding members. So it'll do that till we get to 1,000 members, and then when we cross there, it'll start to increase more to market value. But I want to get it as many people at a discounted rate so that it's easy for you. It's something to where you got the life coach certification, you got the branding course, the email list course, the YouTube course, you got all your courses, and any course that you haven't taken, you got it in there, and it's dirt cheap versus you having to pay for the rest of the new courses that come out. And so any new courses will get put in there as well, unless they live or it's a special course. So the 21-day boot camp won't get put in there because that's a special course. So get on over there, TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. And y'all, I'm going to be popping on here. Keep your head up. We're going to be addressing some very real things. I seen a video on my timeline today from the young lady B. Simone, and she was cussing while she was crying and talking about God is calling her. So I did a video on that. I'm going to talk about that because we got to have Jackie Dollhouse. It's on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. You'll see it say all access membership. And we got to protect the babies in the Lord and just let them know that certain stuff that quote unquote Christians be out here saying and claiming do not be of God, and that they are not called by God yet, and they may never get called by God if they keep playing with God's name and playing in God's face. And they actually gonna go through a whole lot worse than what they want to go through if they playing with God. And so I got a video on that that's gonna go up. And I hate to call people names that I know or have met or in my phone. I hate to do it, but I have to do it. And sometimes people be like, oh, Tony, why you don't talk to them directly? Because it's not just about them. They affecting hundreds of thousands of people. So I got to talk to the people so the people know this is not of God. It ain't about them. They already know. They've already been told, and they choosing to continue to do what they doing, or they've been told by another fake Christian like Pastor Tim, I don't know his name, with the yellow glasses, that it's okay to be a cursing Christian. So they've been told by another heathen that's gonna bust hell wide open if he don't repent, and they being led astray, and they being made to believe that they can mix the sacred with the profane. And they will say, oh, well, Tony Gaskins is a judgmental Christian. No, Tony Gaskins is a devout Christian who stand on the Holy Bible. It ain't about, I can't judge you. All I could do is warn you. I don't have a gavel. I don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. All I am is a sounding board. I'm just warning you before you meet your judge. Because when you meet your judge, you're not going to be able to say, I didn't know. Because the Lord going to say, yes, you did. Tony Gaskins called you by name and let you know that you was in sin and you was leading people astray. And here go hell's gates. And so I'm trying to get y'all together and get y'all to understand. Stop playing with God. Stop playing with the name of God. Stop playing with the word of God. Like, stop using God for sympathy, the name of God for sympathy. Stop using the name of God for clout. Stop using the name of God for inclusion. And if you're not going to live righteous, leave God out of your mess. Leave God out of your fornication. Leave God out of your greed, your money hungry. Leave God out of all of that. Like, God ain't asked to be put in none of our foolishness. Like, get your life together behind the scenes before you come out in the public using God as your shield from criticism and haters and critique when you're not living right. Point blank, period. But hey, God bless you. Keep your head up. All the important links in the description. Shout out to my supporters of the Tony Gaskins Family Foundation. Got a trip with one of the families from the boys program this week, this Wednesday and Thursday. And so still on that mission. So thank y'all so much, because y'all make that possible when we on the road. It helps us with the hotel, with the rental car, with the food. If we have to do a flight this week, we don't have to pay for a flight. So God is blessed for there. So we'll just be probably rental car and food. And so thank y'all for that. Maybe hotel or something, unless they cover that as well. The program we going to see and visit, getting one of the boys into a program to help them get out of trouble, get out the streets. One of the boys in the program was in a shootout, was shot at, and the vehicle he was in with his family was shot up. And so they're going through a lot right now. And this is in just my small boys group that this happened. And so I have to step in. And when I went to visit them yesterday, just because I didn't know if they was going to be coming back again, here I am as the internet pastor sitting there with my gun in my lap and the safety off. Just in case something happened, I got the bus bike. And I'm like, Lord, Lord, what's going on? I said, Lord, what's going on? Lord, you'd have called me to help. You'd have called me to help these young men, and these young men getting in shootouts. I mean, getting shot at now. I said, Lord, hold on now. I said, Lord, I'm about to be like Umar. I'm about to open up MTMG and raise $1 million to go on vacation and get these big booty scripples and that powder and let that building sit there. I'm like, Lord, I'm like, Lord, you done called me to the real work. I'm like, Umar over here getting million. I'm like, Lord, I'm scraping together pennies from my audience. I say, how do that work? That somebody working for the devil could raise millions. But the devil gonna expose you though. He gonna take you to the top and put his foot in your back and expose you. So I say, Lord, I'd rather go slow and I'd rather have low donations and be able to do it the right way than to have million and to be out here and with these scripples and out there begging online for not dinner with the doctor is now it's supposed to be a reality show. Sir, you ain't shot a professional video yet, so now we supposed to believe you finna do a reality show? Dinner with the doctor. I was listening to it. I was gonna do a video on it. My wife was like, what are you listening to? Because he was on there. And you cannot come with a weave. I repeat, do not come with a weave. Sisters, do you hear me? Do not have a weave. Do not have a eyelash. Do not have a BBL. Do not have fake breasts. Do not have on makeup. Do not have weave. Do not have a leg. But if you have cushion for the pushing, that is okay. If you have cushion for the pushing, that is okay. If you want to bring a friend, so it could be two of y'all on date with the doctor, that is okay. If you are thick in the thighs, 5'5" thick in the thighs, that is okay. I say, how did this man go from being professional, finna do a $500 date with the doctor, to bring a friend and 5'5" thick in the thighs? I say, he's at fake eyelashes. I just called it eyelashes. I say we got to do better. I say, man, this is a L for black men. This a L for black men. I say, boy, any other race know who Umar is, and they see how he out here begging at this state of life. I say, and I seen something say he done saved the school or paid for the school or something like that. I don't know how he did that, but if he did it through donation, boy, that let you know where our world is at. That let you know where our world is at, because those of us who got actual 501c3, where people get a tax write-off for a donation, can barely raise funds. And then you got people out here who fell off a tomato truck raising millions. I say that let you know how rampant the devil is. When somebody could be acting how he acting, and it's still people, it's still women and men who will donate. it's almost like demons talking to demons, and the demons looking out for the demons. It's like the devil making a way out of no way for his people. I said, wow. I said, that's crazy. But guess what? In the end, we win. God got us. And that's why I try to tell people, because they think that success means speed. They think that the more followers you got, the more money you got, that must mean that you blessed by God. And you could have millions of followers, millions of dollars, and God don't know your name. Your name is not in the Lamb's book. God don't bit more know you than a can of paint. He know the man on the moon better than he know you. And you can have all of that, and people will get all of that, and they'll give glory to God. So then, because they're giving glory to God, people say, oh, this person must be a good person and they serve God. Nope. And don't bit more know God than the man on the moon. I mean, than the can of paint. The man on the moon know God. Probably. And so it's just crazy. It's crazy. But hey, God bless y'all. We'll talk soon. I done went over. Get on. I ain't about to do nothing but shoot another video. And so it'll be another video up here in a little bit. Keep your head up. Keep going.